Hello everyone, hope y'all are having a great 4th of July week. I'm out here actually in Outing, Minnesota. This is where I was coming up for my 4th of July. There was recently this parking lot here basically where the two trucks are at. This whole site right here was actually a fireman's dance. So within an 8-hour, 10-hour time span, there's probably about 3,000 or 4,000 folks sitting right here. So I'm kind of gonna play around the area, see if there was anything dropped, any change, stuff like that. But then the part behind me, they were crossing the road over there. As you see, the water's there. They're parked on across the other side of the road there. We'll possibly have a few things over that way too. Just right on down the road, right past the trees here is actually where our cabin is at. So anyhow, I will have a couple of clips added into this video here. A couple of clips from the Nebraska whenever I went over. I didn't really find much. I found a couple of pennies, a couple of dimes, I think it was. But again, it's just a history of when you get out and you get to see these things. So I'm gonna hit this park up here. I'm gonna throw this video footage in with the other couple of videos that I've got going on. And I'll see you at the end. Hello everyone. Thanks for watching the Let's Lick Brad channel. So I am in Nebraska. I am in Heartwell, which is an old town, actually, a really old town. You can see the little building behind me there, a pretty old little bar. It's a newer community center there built, but this right here, it's hard to hold it one-handed. This right here is an older park also. A lot of older playground equipment. You can see the building right there. They tore down the outside portion. There's a school up the road. It looks like the school had a date on there, 1865. That's pretty old for a school to be built. Looks like some folks are living in it, but being that this area is pretty old, I'm gonna see if there's anything in the ground here at the park. So I'm gonna play around a little bit and see if we get anything. Look at this slide and swing set on this thing. So the swing set also has those grappling handles that go all the way up to the top. And then you got the slide here. There's probably a ton of skin left on that thing over the years. That's all solid metal. And this is the steps to get up it. That thing's 15 foot tall up there, so survival of the fittest. This is where we grew our men up on these. Nowadays, they got pillows going up there, and there's a cloud that takes you down and gives you a lollipop at the other end of it. But anyhow, now the building, there's my truck parked over there. Now the building, I had a local actually pulled up. He's been here for 57 years. And anyways, he was saying that the building corner there used to be a post office, and then off of the post office was the was like a little ice cream parlor, and then it come over this way further. So it actually came out to about where that trash can's at, but they demolished it all down and took it out. On the south side of the road right here used to be a bank, and then to get up here toward the intersection and across the other side used to be an old depot. And then he was saying that right there behind my truck was an old fireworks stand. And in the back behind my truck, it was a ice box where they froze all the pigs and stuff like that for slaughter coming in. So the town used to be booming, but now it's just kind of down to its bare minimum here. A lot of older folks, a lot of people around here for the farming aspect and stuff like that. So pretty cool. Just want to bring you in for that for a second. I do have a couple pennies back from the 80s, but nothing major. Well, I didn't find much here. As I mentioned, I found a couple of pennies, but it's just really cool to actually stop by a lot of these old towns. Just unique the way the bricks were built, the way the buildings were put together. And like I said, the guy stopped and talked to me for probably 20 minutes there, telling me all about the town. And he moved here when he was around 6, 7 years old and stuff like that. So pretty wild, pretty cool. Like I said, I didn't find much of nothing, but yet again, it is just the excitement of stopping and seeing something new. So pretty awesome. Yeah, get back to it. All right, I pulled up to another location here. Actually, this is in Gurley, G-U-R-L-E-Y, Colorado. This is an older park here also, as you can see, for the merry-go-round and the slides and stuff forth so on here. Some older, there's the bathrooms right there. So I'm gonna jump out and play in this area. As you saw the other clip, I was actually in the other part of Nebraska, so I'm actually over here in Gurley, Nebraska, which is western area. So I'm gonna play around with this park here. Actually, this place was founded in 1913. They had a lot of folks coming over in the 1880s and so forth to work on the railroad, which is actually right here behind me. So This place was named after the superintendent of the railroad, the Burlington, Quincy, and Chicago Railroad that they were building. So I'm gonna see if there's anything on the ground here and bring you back in if I do find something. Well, I stumbled upon this here, which was a 82 signal, and I pulled it out of the hole. It took me a couple of seconds to actually figure out what this was. But this right here, it almost looked like a lock originally, but I think this is an old flashlight. It's got some copper edging to it, copper pieces that are inside. This little piece right here also fell off the top of it. It looked like it was swiveled on. So it looks like it was an old flashlight. It's a pretty old flashlight then. I've never seen one like that. Actually, it's got some wording on it. Let's see. It says, like, ever ready, I think it is. Yeah, some wording on there. I can't really see what it says. Let's see if I can get a little more off here. Just interesting that it was in the ground. Yep, there's a flashlight, a lamp. Yeah, tells you what size bulb and everything you need for it. It's interesting. Never found one of those before. Yes, actually the first hole that I've dug over there was a 1967 dime, so almost silver. All right, I found the flashlight that was over there by the house. I walked around the swing and that ginormous slide there. Come over here to the merry-go-round, older merry-go-round, as you see. I did get a ping right here. It was pinging 7980. And when I popped it up, looks like you got one there, and it looks like maybe another one right here. Actually, this one's itty bitty, so it's probably a dime, yep. So you got a dime out of here. Can't tell, I think it's just clad. 1968, whew, almost. So then we got another one here. That's gonna be a shield penny, actually. So that's a newer penny. 2004, so see. Put this in my pocket a half second. Nothing else in there. Oh. Something else in there. Let me dig it out and see if we get anything else. Got a little choppy signal here. It's in 88, 86, 90. And right there, if it's 90, between 89 and 92, usually it's silver, but it's ringing up 86 there also. So let me get out of the ground and see what we got. All right, this would have to be a big chunk of aluminum also. So, and then that one I found over there with the two coins on top of it also was a piece of trash on the bottom side of it chiming up too. So anyhow, on to the next hole. Now, it's pretty hard to come up with a good, strong football name when the name of the town is Gurley. So Gurley Lions. It's pretty funny. As you see, I started recording actually by the truck to show you everything that was here. So waving across with my metal detector, and I know it's a gravel ground here, but you know, you got, like I say, a ton of people dancing, a ton of people jumping up and down. There was a bunch of tables and chairs that were lined up here. Entryway to come in was over by the stop sign there. So you pay in for, it's basically the firefighters and the paramedics and stuff. But waving across, and this was on the ground. That's gonna be a big gold chain there. It's got a nice little emblem on there, but look at that. Needs to be cleaned up. It's really dusted over, but that looks like a gold chain. I gotta clean it up here in a little bit. Yep, let me clean it up and I will get back with you here shortly, but I'm gonna keep working on the ground here, see if we can find anything else. That's pretty awesome. Oh, it's just stuff laying all across the ground. So this right here I actually just walked up on. So that's gonna be a quarter. That's gonna be one of the quarters that you put into the coin roll hunting whenever you take one out. So that's pretty awesome. All right, I did stop by a couple more parks here. Actually, I'm at one here that's pretty treed up. Got a ton of pine trees as you see on there. So a lot of times these parks here, you definitely want to get around the trees the most. There's not a lot of open space to play football, baseball, and so forth so on. So this be a prime area because these trees are pretty old too. You can give or take, just say 60 years. So you really want to get up against the trees there just in case anybody's laying up against the tree, or, you know, somebody's taking a break, or whenever they do Easter egg hunts, they set those plastic eggs out. You know, one of them pops with 50 cents or $1 worth of quarters in there. So, like I say, I did get a few pieces. This right here, I want to say it's just a regular piece of fashion jewelry probably. I checked the little grommets, checked on the back side of the pin here, didn't see any numberings or anything on there. Sometimes these little clips here will have something on top of them. I don't see anything there. This kind of looks a little bronzish on that side. You can see by my thumb there. So probably a little copper piece, a little fashion jewelry or so. It's got a little bitty diamond on this back side here, something a little different. So anyhow, that's a pretty cool find anyways, to find some jewelry. A little zipper, a couple of quarters there, some pennies, some dimes, a couple of 92s there, 19.99 I gotta look at also. And a lot of this out here too. This looks almost like iron pyrite, like it's fool's gold. It's just got a little shimmer of gold on the inside of it. So probably pyrite, possibly. But a lot of times out here, what the father-in-law was saying was a lot of burn piles, a lot of burned cabins, a lot of burned down places and such. So it's probably just a smelted, you know, Ham's can or something like that. So anyhow, but I do want to mention too, there's a couple of folks that actually stopped by here and were talking to me about metal detecting. They mentioned that they'd done it a couple of times. They're pretty frustrated over doing it. It's definitely going to take a lot of time to get used to metal detecting. So don't get shied away, don't get forced away of it. It's going to take time. If you took the 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, however long to play around with it and do it, you added 15, 30 minutes or an hour of experience time to go through here. So this will take a long time. I would say a couple of weeks to actually get a hang of everything that's on here, on your metal detector, how to work it, your number systems, the depth of everything. If you're looking at a bottle cap, if you're looking at a pull tab, or you're looking at a gold dollar bill or whatnot. So it's going to take time. So make sure you enjoy it, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to like it. So make sure you enjoy it. Make sure you take the time to do it. It's fun to be able to get out. It's fun to be able to meet people, and especially those folks who stop by and want to learn and want to know the machine and want to know what's the best machine or the better machine to start off and learn. Yet again, don't get frustrated at it. It's really nice. It's really awesome to be out here. You know, the wind's blowing. It smells great. This is in Emily, Minnesota is where I'm at right now. There's a lot of small time events and stuff like that going here. There's a little store across the way, a little bait shop and so forth, so on. But like I said, don't get frustrated at it. Definitely ask questions if you're ever on my channel. If you ever want to know anything about, you know, what to look for, what to do. I want to say AMTV actually hit me up and was getting one for his kid. So make sure you hang in there. It's well worth the experience, but you're not going to get, you know, you may, crossing your fingers, but not all the times you're going to get gold or silver whenever you come out. You might only find a few pennies, a few quarters, but yet again, you're getting the knowledge to be able to pull those out of the ground. So make sure you stick with it. And above all, everybody have a great 4th of July. And I will see y'all here Saturday time frame when I get back up to Colorado. I'm gonna actually stop in and get a few boxes of quarters, probably hit another park or two on the way there. But all in all, y'all have a great 4th.